At 8 o'clock, Hotshots had some relief from the weather today as they worked hard to protect homes from the Greer Fire.
But it is a short-lived break as winds are expected to pick back up this weekend. Unfortunately, that fire has burned more than 12,000 acres. It has destroyed at least 3 homes. So here's a look at where evacuation orders stand right now. Greer is on the go status, though many people have chosen to stay in their homes. Part of Eager also on go evacuation orders. Others living north of the SR 260 and in the eastern portion of Greer are told to be ready to evacuate at a moment's notice. Our Zach Prelutsky is live tonight at the fire line. Zach, what are you hearing from officials tonight?
Yeah, guys, we're about to get an update from officials, but a lot of community members who live in this area, a lot of anxiety as this firefight continues. We're going to get some answers from Chris Lopez with the incident management team. Chris, can you just explain kind of what the efforts were today and kind of where you guys are in the firefights?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're currently sitting at 12,600 acres with approximately 500 people assigned. The operating cost is estimated to be at around $4 million with 0% containment. We had a lot of good favorable conditions today, allowing us to tie in some areas along the 260 and the 373. We did a pretty successful firing op on that. We constructed some dozer line outside of the community of the 26 bar that we're tying into the Little Colorado River. We do have a pretty good amount of people working on the 409 road. We're going to tie that into the 8357A road, and we're going to tie that in on the 261 there, and they're going to be working pretty hard on that tonight. We did have quite a bit of air ops today. We had 7 helos flying out on the fire today, and of course 1 air attack directing proper drops on that.
With the forecast this weekend, just how big of a concern is the wind and kind of the conditions you guys are expected to be facing?
Well, you know, wind is always a concern when you're fighting fire. You never let your guard down on that. Tonight we're going to be working pretty hard and tying in quite a bit, doing quite a bit of firing operations to square things up for the red flag warnings that might be coming this weekend.
And it looks like there's some hot spots that are popping up around properties, cabins, homes. Is this fire spreading in ways that you guys maybe aren't anticipating, or is maybe a little more unusual?
You know, fire behavior is to be expected. We do have quite a few structure protection task force out there, which are usually consisting of a Type 1 engine that's 4.0 staffed that is triaging over, I believe, over 100 homes today. And what they do is they go and look for the defensible space around them, and they prep the homes just to make sure that they are protectable to the best of their ability.
And a lot of people in this community anxious to get back in their homes or for this to get any containment. What's your message to people who live in this area tonight?
Well, I mean, as a resident here, I absolutely feel you. My family did evacuate themselves as well. And I know we're all anxious to get back in there, but we also want to make sure that you get back in there when it's safe to do so. Just for a talk on safety, for our personnel right now, we were told an estimated 1 hour extraction if any of our personnel go down. And that is a big concern for us. And, you know, if citizens were in there that we have to extract, you know, we have to get to them too and figure in that factor for rescue.
Chris, thank you guys. There's a bit of an update on kind of the firefighting operations and everything officials are doing here. We'll have more reaction from people who live in this community coming up tonight at 9.
All right, Zach Prelutsky reporting live there. Let's talk about some of the areas they just referenced and some of this firefighting activity that they're talking about. Here's a map showing the hot spots that have popped up today and the last couple of days. The official there was talking about some of the work they've been doing up here in the northern reaches of the fire on 260. You see this red area right here. That's all that backfiring operations he's talking about. That's when firefighters go out and they intentionally set fire. So we were seeing on the satellite today that a number of hot spots were popping up near the 260 and state and this road 373. He confirmed just moments ago that these fires over here are backfires. That's stuff they intentionally set to eliminate, create some defensible space, eliminate the fuel. So that's good. My question though has been down here. Look on the western edge of the fire. There were a couple of hot spots that popped up right next to homes here. I'm going to circle them so you can really see hot spot, home, home. That's where they go in with the structure protection, and they talked about how they have to have crews go out and monitor. They were monitoring about 100 homes or so, making sure there were no little flare-ups. Let's look at the southern edge really quick. There were a number of hotspots there. That's all fire growth. That's fire, but they're not necessarily as concerned about the southern edge of the fire because there's not a lot of homes down there. One more thing I want to show you is this northeastern corner. I'm not sure if those are backfires or if that's fire growth, but that's an area of concern because, look, this is really the main area that they're worried about. Eager. Eager is right there. It's about 1.5 miles away from the edge of that fire. So they want to keep that fire from moving in that direction. And of course, a lot of it's going to come down to the winds, Paul. So let's send it over to you.
Yeah, and Derek, the winds are really going to pick up again tomorrow. And we've got a red flag warning for that area. Live look at Springerville. You could see the smoke out there in the distance. And yes, the latest, the Greer Fire at the closest location. Right now, it's 55 degrees. Temps are cooling tonight. Wind speeds out of the southwest at 6 miles per hour. Those are sustained winds with gusts up to 15 out of the southwest, pushing still to the northeast. That's going to continue to be the case again for tomorrow. You can see out around areas of Sholo. Winds starting to die down, which is great news. Light winds around Payson, and we're seeing a bit of a breeze here in the valley. We'll see the winds pick up here as well. Not a red flag warning here in the valley, but you can see some stronger winds from Flagstaff out towards the Greer and Sholo and Pinetop Lakeside area around